execute early on, find a rhythm of the game, and then go finish in the fourth quarter.
The whole season on the line for the Buckeyes. Nobody giving the Wolverines a chance to win this game. Howard in trouble! Incomplete! Ohio State turns it over on downs. And the Michigan Wolverines will shock the college football world. And now there's some skirmishes going on the field.
You got to fire Ryan Day.
If there wasn't a 12-team playoff, Ryan Day would be...
I think he would be fired.
Is Ryan Day the guy for this job? Can he and the football team bounce back?
Touchdown, Ohio State strikes first.
They cracked his helmet. It was such a big hit. Look at that.
Touchdown end zone. Henderson breaks free. House call for Ohio State. The Buckeyes can begin planning for Pasadena. There is Smith roaming free. Breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly. Caught in stride. Abuka touchdown. Buckeyes on fire. Smith is wide open. It's a Crimson avalanche here in Pasadena. Travian Henderson gets with it back for Ohio State. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Ohio State scoop and score. Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. And Ohio State is going to walk out of Atlanta national champions.
The story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. There's a lot of people that counted us out, and we just kept swinging and kept fighting. It's the reason why you get into coaching, is to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams.
College football national champion Coach Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
What's going on, Buckeye Nation? Rob and Peter back for another one. Man, it's going to take a long time before I get tired of seeing those highlights. And shout out again to Cliff from the Michigan Team Rivalry Show for putting that intro together for us. We really appreciate that. Salute to you, brother. We got a good show for you tonight. We're obviously discussing Ohio State Rutgers. The biggest topic that I think Rob wants to discuss, he's chomping at the bit on this one, is the doom and gloom that seems to be taking over at least X and probably 11 Warrior comment section, other, internet spaces for where Ohio State fans gather about JSN, Jeremiah Smith, and the injuries. And it's like, can you not enjoy being 10-0? Apparently not.
Yeah, I'm tired of it, Peter. Ryan Day doesn't explain a damn thing to these fans.
Yeah, he shouldn't either.
He shouldn't. Kick rocks. It's a longer season. It's turned to an NFL format. Let's say that, unfortunately Ohio State loses to Michigan, then they got to play 4 games again. Yeah. They got to play 4 games again. That's a lot of wear and tear on players. So it's just like, if Ohio State doesn't need their star players, why put them in and risk? I don't know the severity of the injuries. Why put them in and risk anything at all? It's kind of like the last 2 weeks of the NFL. If you've clinched the playoffs, sit your players and just get on with the playoffs, dude. It's just like,
oh, hell no. I got to push back on that one, homie. I understand. I'm
not saying do that, because we all know what this last game is.
Thank you. I was about to disown you.
I'm just saying, like, it's turning to an NFL format. There's more games. The season's longer.
Yeah.
What is the regular season? 12 games plus, 3.
Plus a possible Big Ten championship
the Big Ten championship game, and then you're looking at possibly 16, 17 games, man. That's pretty much an NFL season right there.
It is the length of NFL season. The fact that they were bemoaning not playing versus UCLA, and more than likely probably not playing against Rutgers, why are you whining about that? Who cares? We could put our 5th string wide receivers, all of them, on the field versus Rutgers and still win the game easily and handily. I'm not concerned about them playing. The only reason I'm slightly concerned is because they might be rusty going in the Michigan game. Other than that, I couldn't care less about them sitting.
You know,
Couldn't care less.
it's just like if you can sit your star, if you had the luxury to be able to sit your star players heading into the big games, then do it, dude. I mean, like, trust me. People are like, "Oh, we're having JSN PTSD trauma flashbacks," but you know, I just,
Nick
I
Bosa,
yeah, Nick Bosa,
others.
but JSN, Nick Bosa's, they were literally at the beginning of the season though,
Yep,
and it's
they
just
were.
like the more and more Jason was held out, I'm like, okay, he's not gonna come back. Especially
Yeah,
like when they did that 20 snap count and they pulled him out, he was just
seriously.
he was just done, man. And Bosa, he tore a big muscle in his stomach, and
Yeah,
it was done
groin
from there.
area. Yep,
We're
yep.
talking about we're talking about how he didn't play against Purdue, some about the warm-ups, and he hasn't been back since. Now, why haven't played versus Purdue? You don't even play versus Purdue.
What for?
You don't need to risk it. Why haven't played versus UCL? Heck, I wouldn't even after seeing him with Jeremiah Smith, I wouldn't want him playing. I didn't want him to play versus UCLA. Who cares? And then like this week, Rutgers, it's going to be at home. Like,
Yep.
and then if they're not game planning for Michigan right now, dude, and
Thank you.
I don't know what you're doing.
Thank you for saying that. You never overlook an opponent, but daggone it, man. We're 33.5-point favorites over the Scarlet Knights. Like, we can look ahead a little bit, as fans anyway. And I'm guarantee the coaching staff is too. They don't want to lose that game in Ann Arbor again for a fifth straight year. So rest them up, man. Why not? Get healthy. Get healthy. We
Yeah,
switched things all along on the offensive line, made some tweaks. I think changes are still to come if Padilla comes back healthy, but Van Sickle looked great last week at right guard. Shabola needs to be pulled. You know, Moore was good at right tackle and replacement, but Daniels is even better coming back and healthy starting last week. So there's things that, you know, we're still trying to work out, but I don't understand the panic from the little minded and weak minded people in the fan base. I don't get it, man. I'm not trying to talk down to you. It's just like I don't understand. Help me understand why
it,
you're so chicken little with this.
you know, it's just like, you know, this is what happens with the Ohio State fan base. A little bit of controversy comes,
Yeah.
and just like they get caught up in their feelings, and they don't. I don't know what to think. It's just like, dude, I'm seeing stuff on X about, oh, they're done for the season. They're not going to play versus Michigan. It's like, dude, are you serious?
Golly.
I mean, I'd be disappointed if Carnell Tate was not going to play versus Michigan,
Sure.
but you know, Jeremiah Smith is definitely playing against Michigan, especially what he said. I'm not losing to them for the next 2 years. And dude,
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that we're not going to be at full strength. And it's just like, again, why play your star players if you don't have? I'm always gonna point to that fact until I don't see Carnell Tate on that field event against that
Yeah.
team up north. I'm gonna point to Ryan Day and this staff are playing the long game. Now, there's you know why there's not a lot of wear and tear on this defense? Because they're not on the field for very long. That's
You're
that's
darn right.
that's why they're not on the field for very long. They're the most efficient team in college football in terms of getting off the field on third down. The offense has been slowing the game down tremendously. They're
Yeah.
primed to have one game less snaps on offense than every other team in college football. That's why we're not seeing a lot of injuries. Like, I don't think I saw one injury on defense. I mean, knock on wood, but it's because
Yeah.
they're not on the
Yeah.
field that often. They don't have
You're
to be
right.
on the field that often.
That's a good point. Yeah, we haven't lost a single starter on the defense yet this year. We might have maybe for a couple plays or a series or something like that, but we've been healthy the entire season, and that's why we have the number one defense in the nation, only giving up 7.5 points per game at this point of the year. It's remarkable. I've never seen a defense like this, um, but like you said, man, it was fun, you know, doing the slow play and you know, slowly squeezing these teams to death like a cobra. But it was interesting because we actually ran a little bit of tempo versus UCLA. That was interesting to see, just to show that we can do it, and we will mix things up just to keep y'all on your toes. That was
Yeah.
encouraging for me to see, anyway.
Yeah, but you know, I do want Julian Stain to get more chemistry with these backups, just in case something happens in the long run that we need some of these back wide receivers. But dude, it's not time to hit the panic button. But dude, here's the fan base summed up. And you know what? I've been saying this sometimes, you know, and I've been thinking this. If we're not up by 50 points at halftime, we're calling for scholarships. We're calling for jobs. We're ready
Benchings.
benchings, ready to burn down Columbus and just, you know, chaos, man. Just like this fan base cannot take any bit of controversy, man.
Any negative news,
I mean, God
they
forbid,
crumble.
God forbid if Day drops a fifth straight against Michigan. I mean, have we not learned our lessons about, you know, just some of the behavior from the fans? And it's just like,
It's pretty pathetic.
you do realize that Day and his family almost left Columbus because of the behavior from the fan base. And it's just like, it's unrealistic. I get that we're really passionate about our Ohio State Buckeyes, the football team, but let's be realistic here. Ryan Day knows what he's doing. For some reason, some people still don't trust Ryan Day. I mean, dude, we're talking about the same people who I saw on X saying they want to see Lincoln Keenholz. Julian Saint's not the guy. What is Ryan Day doing? What, like, it's just like, dude, you just
saying that at this point of the season.
Nobody. You have to trust in Ryan Day, man. The hire that he made at defensive coordinator. I mean, look what he's built all the way up to this point. You gotta trust what he's doing. And I can tell you right now, until I see Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith not suit up for the rest of the season, which is highly doubtful, by the way, Ryan Day is playing the long game, and I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah, I think the wise thing would be to do is to wait until we cross that bridge. If they don't play versus Michigan, then you can hit the panic button. But why hit it before?
Yeah.
Why hit it before?
People are saying that he's gonna opt out because he's a top 10 draft pick. And
no, I have seen that opinion, and that pisses me off, dude. You're gonna test a competitor's heart like that? No, bro. No. You don't quit on your team. There is a quarterback from Miami, Ohio, quick tangent here, who was in the thick of a MAC championship race. DeQuan Finn used to play for Toledo, transferred to Miami, Ohio, so he's used to the MAC, but he literally just quit the team to focus on NFL draft prep. First time we've ever seen that in the middle of a race. Now, I get it's just the MAC, but who cares? But daggone, that's messed up for your teammates.
I mean, like you're talking about Carnell Tate, who could have easily transferred out and been a wide receiver one anywhere else in the country because we see what he's doing. But dude, don't question that dude's character, man. He's a Buckeye through and through. He's a competitor, and you know what? He's here to show out. He really is.
He bleeds scarlet and gray. You don't dare question that man's heart. He chose Ohio State from the jump, man. And he's going to give it all if he has the opportunity to. There's no question about that. Here's the thing, man. Players want to play. You don't see a player want to go through practice and just sit out. Like, players want to play. So when he's healthy, he's going to play. And I think he's going to play versus the Wolverines. We do not need to hit that panic button. Y'all need to chill out. The Buckeyes and the Wolverines square off in just 11 days. It's kind of crazy, but it's getting near, man. It's getting close. So on that note, man, we'll discuss Rutgers just a little bit. I got a couple stats here, man. Kaliak Manis, the quarterback, he's been pretty good. The Minnesota transfer, he's got 2,705 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. Raymond, the tailback, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. But, man, they're going to go up against that number one defense in every single category. Number two in a few of them. And then on the flip side, man, Rutgers defense, 122nd in the nation, giving up 425.5 yards a contest. 85th in the nation against the pass. It's going to be a rough day for the Scarlet Knight defense, no matter who suits up in Ohio Stadium for the Buckeyes. They're going to have their way offensively.
Yeah, they will. And you know what? I'm looking for, another scrimmage.
This might be the first time we break 50 points this year. Do you think?
I
If
mean,
if Ohio State wants to,
dude, I don't care if we break 50 points, man.
I don't care either. But it's
I,
fun.
I don't care, man. Like we all know how they've been winning games. Their
Yep.
defense suffocates their opponents. It puts the offense back on the field. They tire out the defense by,
Yeah.
going down the field in like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they do it
Killing the
all over
clock.
again. The defense gets off the field easily. The offense comes back. I mean, the other team's defense comes back on. Our offense scores again, just draining the life out of
Yeah.
opponents on both
Let me
sides of the ball.
let me ask you this, man. Ryan Day's offense this year and his approach just collectively from Ohio State is so similar to Jim Tressel's, but with a more explosive offense, with a more capable offense. Are you enjoying this like the Tressel days? Because I think there's some fans out there that want to see the 50 and 60 bombs dropped and aren't enjoying this football. When for me, this is the kind of football I loved growing up and watching. It's just we have a little bit better offense, so the games aren't as close as they used to be with Tressel ball. What about you?
Yeah, I like Ryan Day said, man, he's gonna turn up the gas when they need to, and I believe they can. We've seen little glimpses of it, man. Little glimpses of it, like in Purdue or Penn State,
Mm-hmm.
or we didn't see it in Washington. I think Day is just holding back because, dude, he realizes he doesn't have to unleash the dogs, man.
You are
Not
the
yet, dude.
superior team. You don't have to prove it versus the Rutgers of the world, right?
I don't think they've had to prove it all season, man. I was worried
Yeah.
about Texas. The defense won that game. The offense did what they needed to do. In
Yeah.
The Washington game, man. Again, the defense did what they needed to do. Ohio State just sucked the life out of that team and was able to, control the ball a great amount of the game.
Yep.
And then just like we saw little glimpses against Penn State, we saw little glimpses against Purdue. But it's just like why turn up the gas when you really don't need to, when your defense has
Yep.
been leading the team this whole entire season. Now they are gonna have to turn up the gas when they get to the playoffs or the Big Ten championship.
Well,
So
the competition is going to stiffen. There's no question about that, man. But
I bet you he turns up the gas in 2 weeks, man.
it's kind of like Usain Bolt, man. If you remember, I don't know if you ever watched those Olympic races and finals, but he didn't even have to go all out because he knew he was faster and he knew he was better. And so he never got into that top gear speed. That's a lot like what Ohio State is doing right now versus their opponents. On that note, I want to ask you this question because we talked about this last night, man. There are a lot of people out there questioning Ohio State's strength of schedule. Do they have a point?
It's not their fault the competition sucks.
Right?
They didn't do anything.
We're
I mean,
not responsible for Texas.
it was looking like a tough schedule until,
Yeah.
Every team just decided to, we're going to go into hibernation mode.
Brett Bielema's Illinois squad completely underperforming this year. Brought back
Yeah.
16 starters, a preseason darling and possible favorite for the Big Ten Conference. They've squandered the opportunity. Washington, every nameable opponent they face, they crumble and can't seem to move the ball offensively because they don't have the old line. That's the reason. And then Texas, man. Like, let's just be real. Like, I semi bought back in when they beat Vandy. I said, okay, that's their second top 10 win of this year. And they get out and go get smoked by the Bulldogs last weekend, 35-10. So, I mean, I can see where, like, there's holes and there's arguments where you can see, like, Ohio State, okay, yeah, maybe the schedule isn't living up to the expectations that we had preseason, these teams. But like you said, man, that ain't on us. And the Big Ten schedules who the Big Ten schedules for us. And unfortunately, with conference expansion, our schedule is a result of conference expansion. We usually play Indiana every year. We don't now. Oregon, we played them last year. I think we play them next year. We'll see. We're not going to play Penn State for the next 2 years now because of conference expansion. Now, they might not be as good, but I'm just saying there's unbalanced schedules now. That's a result of conference expansion. You have to deal with it. I hate it. It sucks in my opinion, but there's also benefits to it as well. But that's definitely a downside in my opinion.
What people aren't pointing out is just the complete dominance of
Yeah.
Ohio State. It's
Yes.
one thing playing a bunch of, like, it's one thing going out there and winning but the way they're winning, it's not like it's by close margins.
Yeah.
They're winning by large margins.
They're making their mark.
They're not underperforming.
No. There's not been one contest where we've trailed even for a second in the fourth quarter yet. Not one. That means we're dominating on the field. You can only play who's in front of you, bro. It's that simple. Like, I get it. Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers back to back to back. That looks whack, and it looks weak to the nation's eyes. I understand, and it is. It is. But they're in our conference, and we got to play them if the Big Ten puts them on our schedule. We are dominating. We are handling our business in a professional manner. And, hey, man, if you can't see the dominance, I got to question your ball knowledge. It's completely,
Yeah.
I go,
Man, I just the narrative is always going to change, man. Ryan Day finally got one. People are questioning his defensive coordinator hire. Well,
Yeah.
what's his defensive coordinator hire doing now? People are questioning the quarterback. Well, what's Julian Sayin doing? People are questioning, you lost a lot of defensive starters on that line. Well, they're currently ranked number 5th overall in the country in terms of run defense. And they're almost number 1 in every category defensively. People were questioning the just a lot of things, man. A lot. The narrative with Ohio State is always going to change if what they say doesn't happen. Well, you know what? They're going to lose 4 or 5 games. Well, you know what? They're undefeated. The competition sucks. Well, Matt Patricia,
Yeah.
they didn't play a competent quarterback. What happens when they play a competent quarterback? Oh, well, they're not that good this season. It's always something, man. It's called Ohio State fatigue. And we're seeing it in real time, man. We're seeing, like, I know that Ohio State, they got their first national championship in 10 years, but they've been there all these years, man. They're the most consistent team in all of college football. And people said I was crazy for thinking that they're not going to have this giant drop off. But lo and behold, they didn't have this giant drop off. And just like, it's called Ohio State fatigue. People are tired of all this winning, man.
You hit the nail on the head, bro. You're preaching right there, man. Ohio State fatigue is a real thing. We see it in our own friend group from our friend Dave. He can't stand how successful we are year in and year out. He despises Ohio State from an Ole Miss fan perspective. Shout out to them. They're probably going to make the playoffs this year. But
yeah,
no, that's the reality, man. They teams, and especially Wolverine fans, but teams within our conference and around the SEC and the nation are preying on Ohio State's downfall, waiting for it to happen, and it seemingly never comes. It's incredible, man. We have exceeded my expectations for this year. I thought we'd most likely have a loss by now in this season, but Ohio State is completely dominating. Looking at things from the preseason, I thought, there's potential for a loss there. Maybe Illinois trap game, maybe a trip out west. That's, Big Ten teams were failing at that left and right last year, but we're overcoming and these expectations. I thought with 14 players lost to the NFL draft and 15 starters lost overall, I thought, all right, there's going to be a little growing pains, Maybe we struggle here in a game or two. But Julian's saying, and I want to touch on this and get your perspective.
All right.
I thought C.J. Stroud was the best quarterback that's ever played at Ohio State. I'm questioning that now. I think Julian Sayin might have exceeded him. I can't look at his game and name a weakness. With C.J. Stroud, it was his footwork and lack of mobility. Julian Sayin literally does everything well.
I want to see what he does in the Michigan game. I want to see what he
Sure.
does in the playoffs before
Yeah.
we go there, man.
That's great.
But
That's a great point.
but for now, I could see why you're saying that. But I want to like there are games. There are legacy games. What type of
Yeah.
legacy
Yeah.
as an Ohio State quarterback are you going to leave behind? What do we remember Troy Smith for? What do we remember
Yep.
Dwayne Haskins? I remember Dwayne
Yep.
Haskins for coming in when JT Parrott got hurt and slinging the ball.
Yep. And torching
And
Michigan in the next year too.
yeah, I remember Justin Fields for his performances. Now they didn't win the Natty, but
Yeah.
he had some legacy games. What is going to be Julian Sain's legacy games? Only time
That's a
will tell, man.
that's a great point. We have yet to see Julian Sand face that pressure moment down, maybe on the road or down late in the fourth quarter in a high stakes game. What kind of mentalities does he have? Now, looking at him, he seems unfazed by the big moments that he faced versus Texas. But those weren't late in the game with the game on the line, things coming down to the wire. But what will
I
he
mean,
do in those clutch moments? Will he
even
perform or will he
yeah.
step back a little bit?
Craig Krenzel had a legacy game, the Holy Buckeye.
He was clutch as heck.
Will Howard he redeemed having a legacy in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And even Terrell Pryor had legacy games.
Oh, no question. Big moments
But
versus the Nittany Lions. Big moments versus Michigan, even though Michigan was down. But yeah, man.
but
Yep.
I wanna show you this because
That's a good point.
I watched the documentary today.
Dude, that's awesome.
And it was really good. But I want to show you the face of a certain coach before the Michigan game.
Oh, gosh.
You see that?
Yeah. You could see the fear in his eyes right there.
No wonder why we lost that game. No wonder why that happened.
The weight of his world was still on his shoulders in that moment, wasn't it?
Oh, it definitely was. It was, man. And just like I'm not it's just crazy, dude. I that was like a little bit into the documentary.
Sure.
And I rewinded. I paused and I'm like, there's that look. I really, Peter, I really
Damn.
depending on the look before the game,
Yeah.
if he has the look he's had all season of I'm not worried anymore. I have confidence now. We're gonna get this done, then I think we'll win that game. It's all gonna come down to Ryan Day's mentality entering in this game.
We're going to see. They're going to show his face a lot. You guarantee, because that's the storyline heading into the game. We're number one, but the two storylines are going to be there's a playoff spot on the line because both of us are likely going to win this upcoming weekend. Playoff spot for the Wolverines. And then can Ryan Day get over the hump and end the streak? Those are the two big storylines going in this game. And they're going to show his face a lot.
And that's why I hope dude. We need Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, dude. We've had them all season. Like, dude, if we don't have Carnell Tate, man, who are we gonna like? If Jeremiah Smith is getting all this attention, we had Carnell Tate. Who's gonna take that spot, dude? Carnell Tate. That's really hard to replace.
It's hard to replace. And fans from other fan bases, I've seen it all year and honestly all throughout the last 5 years. Oh, if one wide receiver goes down, who cares? You got another 5-star to step up.
It's not like
yes,
that, man.
we do, but that's not how it works, bro. Like Carnell Tate is the only other guy that can draw a double team. That's a wide receiver. Bryson Rodgers has stepped up in mighty ways. Mylan Graham's played well too. And Brandon Innes has kind of emerged late in the season here too as a former 5-star himself. But dude, Carnell and Jeremiah are different. It's that simple.
all I'm saying is like Tate has been money this season because Jeremiah Smith has been drawing all this attention.
Yep.
And it's just like, dude, like having to worry about having a game plan for both those wide receivers, that's a nightmare, dude. Let's be honest. That's a nightmare.
Keeps defensive coordinators up at night for sure. It's a lot of fun, man. I'm gonna have to watch that documentary. I'm gonna get the free 7-day
dude, it
trial because
was
I've seen the ads on Instagram for it, and it looks like it's full of faith. It looks like it's full of
oh yeah,
what
dude.
that team's actual story was last season. Which, as Christians ourselves, man, that's really important to us because you can't tell the story of 2024
Yeah.
Ohio State without telling the faith story. But I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna watch that.
Apparently, G. Scott was having trouble with some personal issues from
Ooh,
during his time in Columbus. A lot of great backstories with
ooh.
G. Scott, Travion Henderson, and just how the team came, just like personal battles, then how the team came together after that, fateful that horrible loss to Michigan last season. So it,
Did
it
you,
was it's a great documentary, dude. Like
I,
money.
I'm gonna try and watch that tonight after. If not, I'll definitely watch it before this
Yeah,
weekend. I'd
yeah,
like to do a review on it. That'd be fun for the channel too. But
yeah, definitely.
I mean, are there really any concerns going to this Rutgers week? Like, I mean, like as you said, like the focus and prep really probably should be on Michigan. Like 75% Rutgers, maybe 25% Michigan this week is my thought.
No,
Maybe
man,
I'm off, but
not even 75% Rutgers, dude. We're talking about, dude,
I hear what you're saying.
they're a 33-point favorite, dude. This is gonna be
It's bad.
another scrimmage, man. Like
Favored by more than we
I'm not
were
trying
versus
I'm not
Purdue.
trying to be I'm not trying to be arrogant, dude, but the writing's on the
No,
wall from what we saw against UCLA, man.
I mean, let's be real. There's certain games that as fans we can definitely overlook because we know that this is we don't have to sweat this one. We don't have to sweat this one. No, I think Urban, I think he took it to a different level and didn't prepare at all for the Purdue's and the Iowas and didn't also deal with those emotional highs that they felt after the 2017 Penn State victory and then follow that up with a flat performance versus the Hawkeyes on the road in Kinnick. I think he's struggled in those moments. But Ryan Day, although he is emotional, he is highly emotional at times. Um, he's he seems to always be able to prepare his team. We've had one surprise loss in his 7 years at the helm. Unfortunately, it was, yes, the Wolverines last year, the only unranked team we've lost to in his entire tenure. He's over like 54-1 now versus unranked opponents. So, like, forgive us if we're not sweating the Rutgers game this week, and forgive us if we're not diving deep into previewing Rutgers. Our minds, as Buckeye fans, are on the Wolverines. They're on Ann Arbor. They're on 11 days until the game. That's
But
just how it is in Buckeye Nation right now.
we're gonna save all the content till next week, though. But all I'm saying is, dude, like
Yeah,
Buckeye Nation needs to calm down about Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. They
please.
will be back when they're needed. Ryan Day's playing the long game. Like, dude, if their mind is on Indy, of course they want to be full strength and have everybody back for the Michigan game. They don't beat Michigan, they're not going to Indy, and that's that.
It's that simple. We'll get jumped easily, just like we did last year. One more topic I want to jump on before before we head off on this live here tonight, man. Real quick, man. James Franklin was hired yesterday at Virginia Tech, taking over that program in the ACC. I'm going to share my perspective, but I want to hear yours first. How do you think Franklin's going to do? And are you surprised he took a job starting for next season instead of taking a year off?
You know what? I guess he's okay with being the guy who warms the seat for the next one. He's gonna build up that program, and when they feel like he can't take it anywhere else,
Hey,
it's gonna be goodbye. Just
do you,
like Penn State.
damn. Do you think
He's
10-2 is not good enough for Vitek?
it is, but like if your expectations, I mean, let's be honest, man. You win so much, and then just like, okay, we're tired of winning at this level, and then your expectations get higher every time, man. And just like
That's great.
you always end up, what I learned in life is sometimes you always end up wanting more, and wanting more sometimes costs you. But dude, I've always viewed James Franklin as the dude who's gonna keep the seat warm for the next guy who, eventually, stays in the seat and takes the program to somewhere else, man.
My perspective
But
is I think he. Oh, go
wait,
ahead.
But what is crazy though is, and
Yeah.
I saw this on X.
No.
Why is he trying to get a job so quick, man? Penn State is paying you $49 million. All you have to do is show some good faith that you're actively
Sure.
searching for a job, kind of like, you're collecting. It's pretty much he's collecting unemployment. You got to just show them something in good faith that you're trying to find a job. And you're so quick to get a job now. All they have to do is pay what, $9 million, dude. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. After all the crap, if I was the Penn State, if I was in this situation, all the crap I'd taken like over the years, I wouldn't be quick to find a job. I'd be sitting back collecting money, going on these job interviews and
Hey,
just, trying to live the life, man.
I'd be I'd be sitting on some beaches. I'd be taking some international trips. Like that's free money. Not free money. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. But man, daggone.
But
I am surprised at that. I do, of course, respect his work ethic in that. But
but
man,
as we
I was
know,
surprised.
James Franklin always chokes in the big decision moments.
He does.
And that was a
Those
big
key
decision,
moments in
man.
games.
You're looking at $49 million and you wanna take a job, and now you only get 9 million. I mean, oh, poor him, he only gets 9 million, but still $49 million. All you have to do is act like you're looking for a job.
He must really not want to stay at home. Like I respect the hustle and I respect the grind, but man, you think you want to spend a little more time with your family and take a year off from the hustle and bustle because yes, Vodtech is not as high a pressure job as Penn State. I mean, it's not the program that Beamer built up anymore. Like the expectations are very low at Virginia Tech at this point in time. Not even at the level when we played them a decade ago. They're lower than that now. And so it's a good landing spot for him, but and I do think he will do well. I think the ACC is clearly a step down in competition. There's not a college football fan that would disagree unless you're Clemson or a FSU fan or maybe Miami or whatever. But let's be completely honest, man. You're a one bid league right now. That's it. You're getting one team in this year. That's been the narrative all year. If you get more than that's outrageous. But you're a one bid league, and so Franklin has a potential to do well because Dabo is declining. Miami is what Miami is. They also are choking the big moments. Can't win big games.
Yeah.
And Louisville might be ascending. Brian Brown's pretty good coach. Or Jeff Brown, I'm sorry. I always call him Brian. His son Brian. Yeah, no, they're ascending, but legitimately, like he's probably in the same position he was in the Big Ten, though. Like there, but maybe not winning championships. Like, is he better than Miami? Can he take them past that? He's probably better than Clemson. I don't know, man. I think he'll do well, but I think he'll do 10-2, 9-3 type-ish again. And if that's good enough for Vodtech, that's good enough. But I think they probably will get sick of him after a while. You're probably right. But hey, man, that's not a bad gig. He's collecting some serious cash even there.
You're not there to win championships.
Underperforming coach.
You're not there to win championships. It's kind of like when Kyle, it's kind of like when Kyle McCord took a step back, transferred to Syracuse from Ohio State because he realized they're not there to win championships. They don't have to get through some big rival, and the fan base is ready to burn the city down if you don't win a championship every year.
Yep.
It's kind of like that, man.
Low pressure.
Some people just can't handle the pressure, so they
can thrive. Yeah,
streets, man.
That's why I think he might be able to thrive there because it is less pressure. It is a passionate fan base, but not nearly as passionate, nor as big as Penn State. And so I'm interested to see how he does. And personally, I'm rooting for the man, but I don't think he'll ever win a national championship. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take in any form at all. I think every college football fan agrees with that. But I'll be interested to see how he does. He was a big part of the Big Ten. We had some amazing contests versus him over the years, some memorable ones that I'll cherish for a while, for sure. But yeah, man, say la vie to James Franklin. We probably won't hear much from you again because you're probably not going to be on the national stage that much.
I just want to reiterate one thing I said at the beginning before we get on out of here.
No.
Need to trust Ryan Day. Ryan Day knows what he's doing by holding out Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. Ryan Day realizes that we could have 16, 17 games this season. He's playing the long game. He wants to keep his players healthy. Like, why play your stars against
Yeah.
the likes of Purdue, UCLA, even Rutgers, man? Their mindset right now is to get to Indy. If you think that Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith is not playing against Michigan, then I don't know what to tell you. Because their mindset is to get to Indy, win the national championship. But it's just like, again, why risk injuries against just terrible teams? You got to play the long game in today's college football format.
You do. And Ryan Day is doing it smartly. He's taking a full game away by the pace of play he's playing. But it's a lot of fun, man. About to be 11-0, but that's going to do it for this one. Go Bucks and God bless. We will see you on the next one.
OH.
I-O.